Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. I think it's about time we close the breach. Hopefully enough power from our mages will be able to do it. Does anyone need to report in?
We are garnering interest from the capital.
You're not pleased?
I am not convinced we are prepared for the full scrutiny of Val Royeaux.
Commander Cullen, your men arrived this morning. It's good to see the Inquisition still trust Templars to perform their duties. Once we ensure that Hazmal's circle is stable, and that no dangerous items fall into the hands of unsuspecting scavengers, we will join you ourselves. Knight Commander Bryson. To the leaders of the Inquisition, it was glorious, I tell you. Mother Havara stood in my office and apologized, actually apologized, for any inconvenience I or my colleagues have suffered. Considering the derision with which her ilk have treated us, hearing her assurances that further rhetoric against the university would be heavily sanctioned was a pleasure, regardless of whether or not it holds once a divine is elected. I offer the Inquisition my thanks, and have sent along a few items our professors thought might be of interest. Chancellor Jurgen Hollis, University of Orlais. Orlesian Army Warrior Armor. Nightingale. Orders received. Will update. Fisher. Who's gonna go gather coin?
At your service.
In the meantime, let's assault the breach. Join forces with your new allies to assault the heart of the breach and close it once and for all.
The best of the mages are ready, Herald. Be certain you are prepared for the assault on the breach. We cannot know how you will be affected.
In other words, this is a point of no return. I think I'm ready. Let's see how this goes. Who do I want to bring with? Varric. Let's bring the Iron Bull. Solus or Dorian? Let's go with Dorian.
Focus past the Herald. Let his will draw from you.
think the music started too early.
You did it.
Yeah, I think the music kind of got off sync there. Also, the fastest way to travel across land. Well, you don't get to talk to your companions then. Well, this is taking a while. So, breach closed, everything's good then, right? Can't be, I've barely gotten any trophies.
Solus confirms the heavens are scarred but calm. The breach is sealed. We've reports of lingering rifts, and many questions remain. But this was a victory. Word of your heroism has spread.
You know how many were involved. Luck put me at the center.
A strange kind of luck. I'm not sure if we need more or less. But you're right. This was a victory of Alliance. One of the few in recent memory. With the breach closed, that alliance will need new focus.
Forces approaching! To arms!
What the... We must get to the gates!
Which forces?
I knew it was too easy.
Wait. Level up. Bull. Ferric. Let me just check this new armor I got. Not as good as what I have. Oh, it's human only. Okay then. Dorian. Can you use tier to staff? Go right ahead.
Never a dull moment for Southerners, is there?
Always something
What?
important. Go protect us.
So, celebrate.
Oh, sorry, Bull.
Cullen?
One watchguard reporting. It's a massive force, the bulk over the mountain.
Under what banner?
None.
None?
I can't come in unless you open.
I'm Cole. I came to warn you, to help. People are coming to hurt you. You probably already know.
What is this? What's going on?
The Templars come to kill you.
Templars? Is this the Order's response to our talks with the mages, attacking blindly?
The Red Templars went to the Elder One. You know him, he knows you. You took his mages. There.
I know that. But this Elder...
He's very angry that you took his mages.
Cullen, give me a plan. Anything.
Haven is no fortress. If we are to withstand this monster, we must control the battle. Get out there and hit that force. Use everything you can. Mages! You! You have sanction to engage them! That is Samson. He will not make it easy. Inquisition! With the Herald! For your lives! For all of us!
Time to see if our army stands up. His name is Cole. He's not that old, perhaps 20 years, no more. He has blonde hair that hangs in front of his eyes. He wears dirty leathers, perhaps the only clothes he owns. He was there when you found Reese in the Templar crypt, but you couldn't see him. Nobody can, and those who do forget him. Just like you are right now. Remember the dream. A letter allegedly written by former Knight Captain Evangeline de Brassard, found in the spire in the aftermath of the Mage Uprising. What's the one I'm looking for? Red Templars. The Red Templars are exactly what they sound like. They're Templars who have been fed red lyrium, and the results are precisely what happened to Meredith and Kirkwall. It improves their powers, grants new ones, and increases their strength beyond what a human body should bear. Over time, red lyrium will turn them into beasts. Crystals will grow inside their bodies, even, I am told, sprouting through their heads. In the end, the Red Templars will be lost, mind and soul, to roaring madness. Did the Chantry push our Templars too far, or was this break inevitable? Maker help us. I pray it was not us who drove our good knights into becoming monsters. Mother Celeris of the Grand Cathedral in a letter to a friend. Thanks, Bull. Why aren't these alphabetical? Presley, whatever you do, don't get too close to those Red Templars with giant lumps on their backs. They can spit lyrium. You can actually see it growing before they fling it at you from their palms. One hit Henley in the face. He'd have a mass of scars if I hadn't been there to heal the wounds as we plucked the stuff out. We started to beat it down with some spells, and the air went sour. I felt sick, like you do when you're around too much raw lyrium. Lyra almost passed out. I grabbed her and ran. With luck, the thing found better prey than us. I never loved the Templars, but seeing them mutilated with lyrium doesn't give me any cheer. I don't understand why they inflict this on themselves. Zarna. Do you remember when I was tracking some mages hiding in the mountains? I found those Red Templar heretics attacking them. The Templars turned on me as well. The soldiers looked like normal men and women, but they rained down blows so hard it numbed my arm through my shield. It took me 3 minutes to kill just one, and he only stopped when I cut off his head. That's when I saw their leader, a huge misshapen knight. He made a gesture and a streak of light streamed from him into one of the soldiers. Red lyrium burst through the soldier's back. He changed into some kind of thing that made the mages all sick. I still don't know how he survived. These mages are children and frightened scholars, hiding from the war after their circles fell. Still, if one of them wasn't a healer, I'd have lost my sword arm. Letter from a Templar knight who left the order to her husband.
Almost ready. Keep them off us.
Here they come. Eric, you doing okay? Red Templar archers. Take aim. Red lyrium isn't the weak stuff they fed you all your life. The song is deeper. It's got a will of its own. Tame it, and it will do things the Chantry's instructors never dreamed of. Listen. Focus on the arrow in your hand. Pour power into it when it leaves the bow. That strength can fly across a battlefield and punch a hole through the thickest armor. Soon you won't need to stop to hear it. Practice. and the song will always be in your blood. And fire. Red Templar Archer, instructing new recruits starting to take Red Lyrium.
Keep them back! We're ready to fire!
Red Templar Guardsmen. Jurs. When I saw Templars marching up the road, my heart was glad. I asked if they'd come to stop the rebel mages who burned down the farms, but one growled it was none of our business. That was when I noticed his eyes were red. Not like he'd had a long night at the inn, but really, truly red. Verney announced these were the band's lands, and it was his business who was in them. The Templar bastard cut him down without a word. A dozen of us against 3 of them, and we never got a strike past their shields. They're stronger than any man I've known. The Templars swung full tower shields of metal like they weighed nothing. We had to run. Tell the band to seal the castle gates against any visiting Templars. Letter from a guardsman employed by Ban Harkwold. Over here, buddy.
Sentinel clear! Firing! They felt that. We'll reload. You get to the other trebuchet. It isn't firing.
Let's go, guys.
We must get this trebuchet firing.
Hi there.
More incoming. Keep them off the
Hold on.
trebuchet.
Easy there, Dorian. Where do you think you're going?
We've got time. Through the trebuchet. Start firing.
Okay. Keep him off my back, guys.
everyone to the gates!
Great, they have a dragon.
Blast its shoulder! Herald! Help me with this door! Good one! Just grabbing essentials. One time.
Wait. No.
Move it! Move it! We need everyone back to the Chantry. It's the only building against that beast. At this point, just make them work for it.
Let's get people to safety.
Come on.
Good work, Harold. Protect the Chantry.
Red Templar Knights. At first, I was only suspicious. Some of my brothers and sisters were acting strangely, spending time in the company of those who only days earlier we hadn't even given a passing glance. I would enter a room, and they would all be sitting together, talking in hushed whispers, and then they would stop altogether. I felt my intrusion keenly and withdrew, wondering how it was that I was not included in this group. Was there a dissension in the Templar ranks? Were they speaking of rebellion against the Seekers of Truth? I could not fathom it, so I kept my peace. Then I saw the lyrium vials Sir Randall kept in his gear. It was accidental, as he had them wrapped in dark cloth and immediately covered them when I entered his quarters, but I did. They were red, not blue. Again, I held my tongue. Now I wish I had not. More and more of my fellow Templars stop talking when I walk into rooms. There's little talk of continuing our hunt for the rebel mages. There's little talk of anything at all. I see the red vials they wear openly around their necks, no longer hidden. They are stronger than the rest of us, and it suddenly seems as if proper blue lyrium has become rare. Shortages, they tell me. I saw Sir Randall this morning, and his eyes were red. For the first time, I'm wondering if I should abandon my post and flee the Order for good. From the General Sir Caitlin of the Order of Templars, 941 Dragon. Let's get going. I went the wrong way.
voice.
I can't get up. Help me. It hurts. I knew you would feel blessed.
Well, where are you going?
I hear a voice.
Harold! What's happening? Major, thank you. Thank you.
No, save! God dang it! Why does the jump have to also be interact? Yeah, I know that! It's because I kept jumping instead. I'm a little mad at that. If you're just gonna stand around, I won't mind.
Thank you. These shits almost had me. Let's go.
Lost one guy because I decided to jump instead of help him. We'll take a potion.
Move! Keep going! The chantry is your shelter!
He tried to stop a Templar. The blade went deep. He's going to die.
What a charming boy.
Harold, our position is not good. That dragon stole back any time you might have earned us.
I've seen an archdemon. I was in the Fade, but it looked like that.
I don't care what it looks like. It's got a path for that army. They'll kill everyone in Haven.
The Elder One doesn't care about the village. He only wants the Herald.
If you know why he wants me, just say it.
I don't. He's too loud. It hurts to hear him. He wants to kill you. No one else matters, but he'll crush them, kill them anyway. I don't like him.
You don't like... Harold, there are no tactics to make this survivable. The only thing that slowed them was the avalanche. We could turn the remaining trebuchets, cause one last slide.
We're overrun. To hit the enemy, we'd bury Haven.
We're dying, but we can decide how. Many don't get that choice.
Yes, that. Chancellor Roderick can help. He wants to say it before he dies.
There is a path. You wouldn't know it unless you'd made the summer pilgrimage, as I have. The people can escape. She must have shown me. Andraste must have shown me so I could tell you.
What are you on about, Roderick?
It was whim that I walked the path. I did not mean to start. It was overgrown. Now, with so many in the Conclave dead, to be the only one who remembers. I don't know, Harold. If this simple memory can save us, this could be more than mere accident. You could be more.
What about it, Cullen? Will it work?
Possibly. If he shows us the path. What of your escape? Perhaps you will surprise it. Find a way. Inquisition, follow Chancellor Roderick through the Chantry. Move!
Herald, if you are meant for this, if the Inquisition is meant for this, I pray for you.
They'll load the trebuchets. Keep the Elder One's attention until we're above the tree line. If we are to have a chance, if you are to have a chance, let that thing hear you.
Cole, you have a really big hat.
All right, time to get loud.
I don't know where you ran off to, but I'm going after your buddy. Red lyrium. Got some on the left. Get over here. Sorry I wasn't able to save you. Wrong one. That didn't work. Is there a reason why we're going in here? No. Nope, trebuchets are this way. Take care of these guys first. they come. Nice one, Bull.
Reinforcements.
Oh, I stopped. How are we doing on health? Here they come. I got him first.
These will put up a
Oh, that's a lot. Level up. Here they come.
Brought big reinforcements.
Knight Captain Denim? Ow. I'm okay. Okay, let's take care of these small guys first, obviously. Oh. Ow! Where are they? Where is everybody? Ow! Dorian, there's a guy right behind you. Why is no one using a healing potion? Ow! I can take them. No, don't jump. No. Ow! Bull, get up! Varric, use this last potion. Oy. Thank you, Bull. Oy. We could have held off a battering ram, but the behemoth? It took the gate off at the hinges. Then it screamed. Not a roar or a growl, a scream. All rage and pain. As I drew my blade, all I could think was, there's a Templar in there. Somewhere in that thing was a brother or sister of the Order. Every fiber of my soul was crying out to them. But whoever it might have been, whoever's son or daughter, they were lost to us, swallowed by corruption and lies. I helped the only way I could, the only way any of us can. We must end their suffering, and, Maker willing, we must try to remember them as they were. From the reports of Knight Captain Vedder, Tactical Considerations for the Inquisition. Jeez, that was tough. Of course, I can't refill. Just a little bit more.
Now! Enough! Pretender, you toy with forces beyond your ken. No more. Whatever you are, I'm not afraid. Words mortals often hurl at the darkness. Once they were mine, they are always lies. Know me. Know what you have pretended to be. Exalt the Elder One. The will that is Corypheus. You will kneel. Why are you here? What do you want from us? I ask for nothing, because it is not in your power to give. But that will not stop me. I am here for the anchor. The process of removing it begins now. It is your fault, Herald. You interrupted a ritual years in the planning, and instead of dying, you stole its purpose. I do not know how you survived, but what marks you as touched, what you flail at rifts, I crafted to assault the very heavens. And you used the anchor to undo my work. The gall. What is this thing meant to do? It is meant to bring certainty where there is none. For you, the certainty that I would always come for it. I once breached the Fade in the name of another to serve the old gods of the Empire in person. I found only chaos and corruption, dead whispers. For 1,000 years I was confused, no more. I have gathered the will to return under no name but my own, to champion Wither to Winter and correct this blighted world. Beg that I succeed, for I have seen the throne of the gods, and it was empty. The anchor is permanent. You have spoilt it with your stumbling. So be it. I will begin again. Find another way to give this world the nation and God it requires. And you, I will not suffer even an unknowing rival. You must die.
You expect us to surrender and kneel. We will not. You'll face us all. When we choose.
Corypheus is back! Hey, bogfish. Oh, boy. I'm sure Varric's gonna have a few words about this. Great, now we gotta face an original Darkspawn Magister. Loading, this is a loading screen. Oh, I can't run. Dang it, I can't run. Now I can. I'm weak from the fall. That's why. Come on, Nate, keep going.
There.
You've gained Mark of the Rift, a focus-based ability. Mark of the Rift causes massive damage and can even kill some enemies instantly. Focus is a resource that is gained each time someone in your party deals damage. Each party member has a personal focus meter, but all party members can gain focus when a single member deals damage. So I basically opened a mini rift. Huh. Cool. Focus abilities. Great. Of course it has to be in a blizzard. Now would probably be a good time to cast a fire spell. Except I'm not a mage. At least I'm making it to the tree line. Maybe I should consider hunkering down for shelter. Come on, Nate. Keep trudging. Yeah, I should really stop to try and, like, make a fire or warm up or something.
Albert. Recent.
Come on, Nate. Come on. Camp!
There! It's him!
Thank the Maker!
So now the question is, what do we do? We lost Haven. We basically have no base of operations.
What would you have me tell them? This isn't what we asked them to do.
We cannot simply ignore this. We must find a way.
And who put you in charge? We need a consensus or we have nothing.
Please, we must use reason. Without the infrastructure of the Inquisition, we're hobbled.
I can't come from nowhere.
She didn't say it could.
Enough! This is getting us nowhere.
Well, we're agreed on that much.
Shh. You need rest.
They've been at it for hours.
They have that luxury thanks to you. The enemy could not follow, and with time to doubt, we turn to blame. Infighting may threaten as much as this Corypheus.
Do we know where Corypheus and his forces are?
We are not sure where we are, which may be why, despite the numbers he still commands, there is no sign of him. That, or you are believed dead. Or without Haven, we are thought helpless. Or he girds for another attack. I cannot claim to know the mind of that creature, only his effect on us.
That's a lot of ores.
They're arguing about what we do next. I need to be there.
Another heated voice won't help. Even yours. Perhaps especially yours. Our leaders struggle because of what we survivors witnessed. We saw our defender stand and fall. And now we have seen him return. The more the enemy is beyond us, the more miraculous your actions appear, and the more our trials seem ordained. That is hard to accept, no? What we have been called to endure, what we perhaps must come to believe.
I escaped the avalanche. Barely, perhaps, but I didn't die.
Of course, and the dead cannot return from across the veil. But the people know what they saw. Or perhaps what they needed to see. The Maker works both in the moment and in how it is remembered. Can we truly know the heavens are not with us?
You saw Corypheus. What do you think of his claims of assaulting the heavens?
Scripture says magisters, to winter servants of false-old gods, entered the Fade to reach the Golden City, seat of the Maker. For their crime, they were cast out as darkspawn. Their hubris is why we suffer blight, and why the Maker turned from us. If such is the claim of this Corypheus, he is a monster beyond imagining. All mankind continues to suffer for that sin. If even a shred of it is true, all the more reason Andraste would choose someone to rise against him.
Corypheus said he found only corruption and emptiness. Nothing golden.
If he entered that place, it has changed him without and within. The living are not meant to make that journey. Perhaps these are lies he must tell himself, rather than accept that he earned the scorn of the Maker. I know I could not bear such.
Mother Giselle, I just don't see how what I believe matters. Lies or not, Corypheus is a real physical threat. You can't match that with hope alone.
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Still your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come.
The shepherd's lost, and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn will come. The night is long,
And the path is dark. Look to the sky for one day soon. The dawn will come. Bear your blade and raise it high. Stand your ground, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky for one day soon. The dawn will
An army needs more than an enemy. It needs a cause.
A word. A wise woman, worth heeding. Her kind understand the moments that unify a cause. Or fracture it. The orb Corypheus carried, the power he used against you, it is elven.
Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. I do not yet know how Corypheus survived, nor am I certain how people will react when they learn of the orb's origin.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
They were foci, used to channel ancient magics. I have seen such things in the Fade, old memories of older magic. Corypheus may think it Tevinter. His empire's magic was built on the bones of my people. Knowing or not, he risks our alliance. I cannot allow it.
This whole mess is confusing. I can see how elves might be an easy target.
History would agree. But there are steps we can take to prevent such a distraction. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
We have a fortress!
They arrive daily from every settlement in the region. Skyhold is becoming a pilgrimage. If word has reached these people, it will have reached the Elder One. We have the walls and numbers to put up a fight here, but this threat is far beyond the war we anticipated. But we now know what allowed you to stand against Corypheus. What drew him to you?
He came for this, and now it's useless to him. So he wants me dead. That's it.
The anchor has power, but it's not why you're still standing here. Your decisions let us heal the sky. Your determination brought us out of Haven. You are the creature's rival because of what you did. And we know it. All of us. The Inquisition requires a leader. The one who has already been leading it. You.
It's unanimous. You all have that much confidence in me?
All of these people have their lives because of you. They will follow.
That wasn't the question.
I will not lie. Handing this power to anyone is troubling. But I have to believe this is meant to be. There would be no Inquisition without you. How it will serve, how you lead, that must be yours to decide.
Corypheus will never let me live in peace. He made that clear. He intends to be a god, to rule over us all. Corypheus must be stopped.
Wherever you lead us.
Have our people been told? They have. And soon, the world. Commander, will they follow?
Inquisition, will you follow? Will you fight? Will we triumph? Your leader, your herald, your Inquisitor! So this is where it begins.
It began in the courtyard. This is where we turned that promise into action. But what do? We know nothing about this Corypheus except that he wanted your mark.
And once again, the cutscene gets a little off.
Corypheus wants to restore Tevinter. Is this a prelude to war with the Imperium?
I get the feeling we're dealing with extremists, not the vanguard of a true invasion.
Tevinter is not the Imperium of 1,000 years ago. What Corypheus yearns to restore no longer exists. Though they would shed no tears if the South fell to chaos, I'm certain.
Corypheus said he wanted to enter the Black City, that this would make him a god.
He is willing to tear this world apart to reach the next. It won't matter if he's wrong.
What if he's not wrong? If he finds some other way into the Fade?
Then he gains the power he seeks, or unleashes catastrophe on us all.
Could his dragon really be an archdemon? What would that mean?
It would mean the beginning of another Blight. We've seen no darkspawn other than Corypheus himself. Perhaps it's not an archdemon at all, but something different?
Whatever it is, it's dangerous. Commanding such a creature gives Corypheus an advantage we can't ignore.
Someone out there must know something about Corypheus.
Unless they saw him on the field, most will not believe he even exists.
We do have one advantage. We know what Corypheus intends to do next. In that strange future you experienced, Empress Celine had been assassinated. Imagine the chaos her death would cause. With his army.
An army he'll bolster with a massive force of demons, or so the future tells us.
Corypheus could conquer the entire south of Thedas, god or no god. I'd feel better if we knew more about what we were dealing with.
I know someone who can help with that. Everyone acting all inspirational jogged my memory, so I sent a message to an old friend. He's crossed paths with Corypheus before and may know more about what he's doing. He can help.
I'm always looking for new allies. Introduce me.
Parading around might cause a fuss. It's better for you to meet privately, on the battlements. Trust me, it's complicated.
Well, then, we stand ready to move on both these concerns.
On your order, Inquisitor.
I know one thing. If Varric has brought who I think he has, Cassandra is going to kill him.
This is the Inquisition. A dusty old ruin filled with battered soldiers.
If you shut your mouth and open your eyes, you'd see that the Inquisition is our one hope.
Geez, we're getting a lot of stuff now. Jeez. Okay. Who got updated? Oh. Let me tell you what I know about the Seven, those Tevinter magisters said to have entered the Golden City long ago. Each was a high priest to one of the old gods. Each came to the ritual shrouded in secrecy, hiding their true name even from each other. They were competitors, you see. The old gods told them they would break into the Golden City and usurp the Maker's throne, but only one of them could sit on that throne. Each assumed a title related to their role in casting the ritual. Some texts claim they had a leader, the High Priest of Dumat, called Corypheus. He did not rule the group, but instead conducted it, coordinating their efforts to achieve a magical feat never since replicated. They breached the Fade, walked physically in dreams, and changed our world forever. Perhaps these seven were the first Darkspawn, cursed by the Maker as the Chant of Light tells us. Perhaps not. One would think these magisters long dead, but there are whispers that this is not so. Think, if you will, what might become of the minds of such beings, corrupted by the Blight, cast down from prideful folly, simmering in resentment and darkness for over 1,000 years. Where would such men live? Who knows of them? For someone must, if whispers persist. What secrets do they yet hold, and what would we do should any one of them return to the light? With luck, these are questions we will never have to answer. From Questioning the Chant by Magister Vibius Agorian. Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fate I crafted you, and to the fate you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me." Canticle Eternities 5:7. In passages 1 through 6, his first children wanted for nothing. Freed from need, they could only praise, but it was hollow, without cost. We, and all the physical, were created immutable, that our works would require struggle. A wonder created of wood and stone proves more intent than any wish of the Fade. Here in the gentlest verses of the chant, we see how great his gift and how stern his punishment. To inspire, he gave us dreams, such that we would strive to make this limited world reflect his glory. Some look upon that nightly memory and feel only desire, as though owed his splendor. We, the second children, were meant to master the wants and wanes of emotion and childish pursuits, to honor at a distance and move ever forward. We failed in this, and the weakest of us did act as petulant infants, clawing back into a sight. Because we could not master our desire, because we acted on pitiful instinct, because we dared look upon our Maker to fulfill our need and not his, he is lost to us. But he is merciful while stern, and we remember what we have lost. His second children can learn, grow, and change. If we cannot, then we are no better, and no worse, than his first children. From the Word and Challenge of the Chantry by Reverend Mother Hevara. A page from an enchanter's journal, scorched to near illegibility. The style is an Old Ferelden dialect, circa mid to late Divine Age. Experiments in ambient lingerings, first staging. The question isn't, is it special? The question is, how special? We found relics, but there are always relics. Elves ranged far beyond their empire, far before their empire was crushed, but rarely did they return where they did not build. This place they visited again and again. I see it in the fragments, clays from different nations, not just craftsmen, styles from different centuries, not just clans, and yet no record of a ruin. The structures here are all Ferelden, with stone ferried up by a typical madman. Whatever was here, whatever natural spire, it was flattened for a floor. But I know the common shapes, and I will erect them as was custom, and we shall see what the elves wish to see. The note below is in a different, uneducated hand. I finished this for Master Ganot. His workings brought lightning, much lightning. The rods are pools of metal now, and all his workings burned. Master was also struck. I write for him his last words because his fingers are ash and he did not live the night. The veil is old here. Okay. Let's see what Skyhold has to offer.
Now, what did they make down here? What can I make?
Where's my hammer? I've walked away from too many burning buildings for one lifetime. This place, though, it'll be all right. It's Inquisitor now, isn't it? That'll take some getting used to.
You think it's strange to say? It's stranger to hear.
Don't let it go to your head. We need you level. Everyone just got a big, hard reason to hate Corypheus. And we already did, but we didn't have a name. You're the surprise, not him.
We left in a hurry, but you got into your old place. Save anything?
Family hammer. It's as stupid as it sounds. It's good to be back at work.
How is this place shaping up as a forge?
Better than Haven ever could be. Not the way I wanted an upgrade, but ever forward.
Have you any thoughts about the people we lost at Haven?
Shame about Adan. Experience like that, you can't just find. Didn't like Segret. Didn't want him dead, though. The rest of us go on. It's what we have to do. You gave us the chance. Thanks for that.
You've got it all up and running?
Your basics, like always. There's space here for, I don't know what. This place was built for something big. It'll be a job to fill it.
I'll be back later.
I'll be here.
Use the workbench in Skyhold's Undercroft to plan out the designs of the castle. Here's the centerpiece of the Inquisition's quarters. I only have 3 marchers. I only have basic drapes. Go Inquisition, of course. This is where our forge is now. Can I upgrade anything? Nope. Can tint my armor? This is what I'm wearing, right? Yeah. Nice that you can kind of customize it. Okay. I'll leave that for now. Let's go see who's over here. Oh, that's just a fast travel thing. We really gotta clean this place up.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
Hello.
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself and your studies. If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
What? Solus, where are you taking me?
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
We talked about that already.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
I'm glad someone was watching over me.
You were a mystery. You still are. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
I would never have agreed to that.
You were in no position to argue. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The breach threatened the whole world. Where did you plan to go?
Someplace far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me. I never said it was a good plan. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
For all our sakes, I'm pleased that you stuck around.
As am I. You have fractured rules of man and nature, and you will shatter more before you are done. To visit me here, and you not even a mage.
What do you mean?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Okay, that was an experience. Why was Skyhold updated? Skyhold has not just been claimed time and again, but sacked as well. We've managed to uncover some remnants, including a scratching under a pillar that mentions the name given by your witch, old but still long after the place has been built over, but the author knew something of its first purpose, or at least something of a legend. Var Landivalis, him sa Belinaris san Elgar Melanada, him sa Miras Fenataldin, word missing. Matasalin Telrevasnesuli Telsethenara Tarasilan Telas Venir Abilathvir, word missing. Even with assistance from your elf, we managed only a partial translation. Elven is often a game of intents, not direct mapping of phonetic meaning. That means it's a mess. Our belief transformed into everything. Assertion, problem, uncertain. All time is transformed into the final/first death, uncertain. Inevitable/threatened victory and horrible/promised freedom in the untold veils, uncertain. Where the sky is held up/back, where the people give/gain love that is an apology/promise from/to. Missing subject, uncertain. Mostly complete, as fragments go. The rhythm is strange, not like others I've recorded. Perhaps less a poem than a statement? The Elven language does tend to meander. Notes from the archivist. Okay. I need to find quarries. I also need to figure out where the heck I am now. There's nothing up here. It's a pretty nice view, though.
They have certainly spared no expense.
Do 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 do. Okay, I'm back here. Hey, we kind of cleaned up. Oh, this is to the... Construction report. Death on the wall. One of our finishers, Garin, fell from the scaffold and landed on a paving stone. He had breath for an hour, but his eyes were still. He died, and the Chantry sisters wrapped him. What should we do? Foreman Sheris. Have them commit his body with those we have lost since Haven. I will record his sacrifice for the Inquisition. Move his fellow workers to another site, and allow time off with pay if they request. Ensure that all workers do their job safely. We are in a war, not a race. Rushing does no good if we harm ourselves. We are all the Inquisition. Lady Montelier.
Word is the courts in Royale are full to bursting.
Distractions everywhere. No one has time for...
Hello, Inquisitor. Honored to help with these, whatever they are.
Or it's decided on the roads. I know.
Honored, Inquisitor. Gotzi Sturhall. Did my part on the walls, and now I'm on this strange collection you've brought us. Don't know its worth to the fight, exactly, but it's good workmanship.
Any ideas about the origin of these reliefs?
To Vinter, early. It's in the tool marks, the grain. That's hard dust mined from the 100 Pillars, if I know anything. Oh, I suppose the scene is probably full of Tevinter robes, too.
The 100 Pillars?
Damnedest things. Massive spires that aren't stone. It's like a mortar. Don't know more than that. Strong, though.
Where did you learn your skills?
Orzammar. Carved a few statues in my day. And before you ask, yes, I chose to leave. I carved a paragon who turned out to be a sodding madwoman. Couldn't stand looking at it. The memory of a dwarf, right?
Do you have any insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what, you finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
Request for resources on the Fade. Regarding your request, as a noted partner of the Inquisition, Lady Montelier has ensured our contacts are quick to reply. The few tiles on hand accompany this letter, with the remaining en route from libraries in Val Royeaux and surrounding. Archivist Bannon. Fade and Spirits Mysteries by Brother Ferdinand Genetivi. An Enchanter's Observations by Anonymous. The Unholy Grace, author unknown. On Silver Chords by First Enchanter Irving. Wisdom Failed, The Hedge Maze, collected by First Enchanter Heron. Translations of the Elilen Excavation, collected by Brother Ferdinand Genetivi. Tevinter Journeys Inward by Archon Vios. Our Legion Heart by formerly Sister Lardine. Speaking to the Other, a translation by Lady Geen. On Lyrium, a Templar's Memoir by Sir Trias. Dalish Myth and Collected Truths Against, collected by Sister Petrine. Elvenon Deus Falsis, Triu Metad Dracas, untranslated, author unknown. There are 2 more pages of titles listed beneath.
Sleep well?
I've never done anything like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur, a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes. like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang the soldiers' hymn to keep formation. The primal music shook the ground. These savage, unwashed warriors carried harmonies no chantry choirs mastered. Though their cause was all but hopeless, they sang songs that made the spirits weep.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff. But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
You just have to ask.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
I'd be happy to help. What did these mages use to capture your friend? Blood magic?
A summoning circle, I would imagine.
I'm sorry?
My friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
I thought spirits wanted to find their way into this world.
Some do, certainly. Just as many Orlesian peasants wish they could journey to exotic Rivain. But not everyone wants to go to Rivain. My friend is an explorer, seeking lost wisdom and reflecting it. It would happily discuss philosophy with you, but it had no wish to come here physically.
All right. Let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map.
Okay, then. When the summoning ritual was complete, the spirit appeared. Both spirits and demons have no gender as we understand it, but this one, much like the rare and dangerous desire demon, presented as female. Although its form was not threatening, the spirit carried itself with a confidence, an awareness, I suppose, that I have seen only in the most powerful of demons. This spirit of wisdom was polite and courteous. It answered our questions about the Fade, even acknowledging the difficulty when we could not understand what it meant. There was none of the bargaining one normally associates with a summoned creature, save that the spirit sometimes asked us questions as well. Harris shared a mathematical formula he had recently proven, while Entren explained her study on magical themes in the Chant of Light, and young Reese talked a little about his mother. When we were finished, the spirit thanked us for the conversation and then vanished, although none of us had dismissed it. We soon discovered that the summoning ritual we had devised was critically flawed. The spirit had been under no compulsion to come or remain. All the time it had talked with us, it had stayed of its own volition. Harris was greatly concerned that such a powerful spirit remained free, and has updated the ritual to correct for the weakness of the binding enchantment. I understand his caution, but I also confess that I quite enjoyed the conversation. I'm not certain the spirit would have talked so freely had it been shackled at the time. An excerpt from Spirit of the Spire by Senior Enchanter Francois.
Inquisitor.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhorn. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You've given me good counsel before. I could use some now.
My apologies, Inquisitor. My poor manners shame me. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast to destroy the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believe the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Tevinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities, giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the Archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus' power?
According to the law, the ancient magisters of Tevinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the Blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. It spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Tevinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found an ancient dwarven thaig no longer sheltered by the stone. An earthquake had exposed it all to daylight. 1,000 dwarven corpses lay, the victims of a dark-spawn horde. Their last stand marked by one great ring of armor. In the middle, one small body, clutching tightly to a small stuffed toy.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
The Alamari crossed the Frostback Mountains to escape a beast they called the Shadow Goddess in their stories. I met the spirit that they fled. She walks the Fade along the southern tundra, weeping lonely and forgotten. Great for Elden formed, because a lonely spirit drove her prey away.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a dwarf emerge into the light of day and shield his eyes against the sun. The first time he had seen it, the tears were streaming from his eyes. I thought them from the blazing light, until I saw the rock he held so tightly. Then he laid the rock down gently, and he left it as he walked away.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Oh, this is back here. Never mind.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
The attack was unexpected. We're all rattled.
I'm not rattled. I'm the hero of this tale.
Then why isn't Corypheus after you?
Good point. Does that make me a lackey? That's dangerous work. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very magisters. A dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
Why does that make you angry?
Because the Imperium is my home. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no, it was us all along. We destroyed the world.
You didn't do anything. Those men did, 1,000 years ago.
True, except that one of them is up and walking around right now. Not to mention I have idiot countrymen who would happily follow him down that path again. No one will thank me, whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
We don't know what will happen. Nobody does.
An optimist! Such a rare breed. I've stumbled upon a unicorn. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
You're welcome.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius' son. He went to the magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
Are you all right?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
It doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
Were the two of you...
Felix and I? What an odd question. No, I had no intention of abusing Alexius's hospitality by seducing his son. Not that I've been proper my whole life, by any means. It wasn't like that. Even in illness, Felix was the best of us. With him around, you knew things could be better.
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I. Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas. Questions.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Popular topic. Anything specific?
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended, the Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City, it was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believed.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is. If he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
You said Alexius was a mentor of yours.
He was my patron, sponsoring me to the higher levels of the Circle of Magi. In return, my successes were his. I had a lot of successes, naturally. Alexius was most pleased. He and I used to talk over brandy about the corruption, how we could one day make real change in the Imperium. And then he gave up. He stopped trying.
Why did he give up?
On a journey to Hossberg, a Darkspawn raid killed his wife and sickened his son. I remember hearing the news. He hadn't been there, you see. Alexius was convinced he could have protected them. The guilt tore him up. I helped him with his research for a while, and then we drifted apart.
That must have been difficult.
Back then, I was furious. I told him to snap out of it, move on. I thought I had all the answers. Later, I regretted my hasty words. But we didn't speak again until he approached me for the Venatori. Too much pride, I suppose. Plus, I was busy drinking. One must have priorities.
Was it hard being away from him?
It was hard not having a patron, yes. I'm not exactly built to fit in. At any rate, he's fallen so low, I doubt he'll ever get up. Sad, really.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
I detest this notion that the veil is some manner of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Whether it be called the Fade or the Beyond is a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, your perfection. Think of the veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world as you see it now. Static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it. Chaotic, ever-changing. A realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real. More, in fact. A spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory. And this is why they are so very lost when they cross the veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. The veil is an idea. It is the act of transition itself, and it is only the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. From a dissertation on the Fade as a physical manifestation by Marino, senior enchanter of the Minrathous Circle of Magi, 655 Steel.
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I'm pleased to hear you say that, Inquisitor. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden?
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi, but I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter, then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I trust everything is well with the mages?
There have been a few scuffles with your Templars, but overall, it is going well.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, a question. In Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a warden.
You want me to smooth things over with him? Introduce you?
No. It's too late for that. I only wanted to know if he was happy. His father had such hopes for him. Don't mind me, Inquisitor. The concerns of an old woman. Nothing more.
Four. And so it was that victory was absolute, and cheers were raised for General Notch Sheridan. And so, buoyed by respect and admiration, Notch Sheridan stood proud and removed the mask to state her true name. For had they not accepted her? Had they not thrived by her leadership? Had they not become comrades despite station and masks and nonsense of protocol? And the answer was swift and bewildering, for they had not. And swiftly she was bundled away amid calls of impostor and spy and other terms she could not know. For she still did not know or lay. Paint, plaster, tile, plaster, stone. Previous occupants have redressed over and over. Most are solid. Some I would strip down to the stone. The strength of this place is the foundation. Are we here for the long term, or is the Inquisition temporary? Amsel, masonry. Do it right. The Inquisition is only temporary if we fail, and we're not failing the Inquisitor. Sir Morris, quartermaster.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Meneve?
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and that I should serve the Inquisition to the best of my ability.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
You were made tranquil?
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Ooh, Inquisitor, greetings. I was recently appointed by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order. I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get back to work.
Here we are again.
I should go.
Naturally.
Man, this place is big. Dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples II is still unhappy about his meal plan and tries to get into the pantry. I had to have a bolt installed, and now he whines constantly. The two little ones are still a handful, but good news. I managed to discourage Boulette from relieving herself on the silk rug Justinia gave you. Felician, from 2 doors over, has been visiting almost every day to play with the nugs. She's quite delightful, and Schmooples II is fond of her. I suspect it is because she brings him sweets from her father's shop. I had to ask her governess to keep her from visiting the house, however, as someone tried to infiltrate it 2 nights ago, an agent of one of the black cards, hopefully to uncover some of the Nightingale's secrets. I neutralized and interrogated him. His ability to withstand questioning was deplorable. Someone needs to talk to the Blackguards about their spies. All I had to do was put Schmooples II in his face and tell him that I haven't fed the creature that day. Your pet played his part admirably. I received your orders and will depart for Ferelden as soon as possible. I've arranged for Garter to take over nug keeping. Sparrow. Huh, Liliana has some nugs. Makes sense. Sadler. Baron Plucky. I don't care how many missions he's flown on, how many lives his actions have saved. He is a holy terror. Nearly pecked out my eye the last time I tried to attach a message to him. All the dramatic flapping and squawking caused the sister to come over. You should have seen her look when she snatched the letter from me. If I had a weaker constitution, it might have killed me on the spot. I suppose she thought I was trying to murder her prize raven, and all she had to do was coo at him, and the Baron hopped onto her shoulder, all sweetness, and nestled into her neck. How does she do it? All the birds like her. Is it blood magic? It's blood magic, isn't it? The news is dire. There are rumors that our warden brothers and sisters in Ferelden have all perished. Without the Grey Wardens, the Blight will take Ferelden. Then it will undoubtedly spread. It will go north to Navarre and the Marches. It will come west to Orlais. At the head will be an archdemon, and in its wake will come thousands upon thousands of darkspawn. We must be ready to stare squarely into the eyes of oblivion. Many of you have asked why we remain here when such threats are mounting in the east. The problem, you see, is not a new one for us. Politics. To say Ferelden and Orlais have been at odds is an understatement. These two are like dogs and cats. We wardens are Orlesian by address only, but that does not seem to matter to Ferelden's leaders. Word is that the king of Ferelden is dead, and his successor, Loghain Mactyr, decrees that no warden set foot in the country. Mactyr, a national hero who helped expel invading Orlesian forces from Ferelden, seems to have it out for our order. 2. Maybe he doubts our abilities. Maybe he is more foolish than the history books make him out to be. This is why we must wait, even as Ferelden willingly welcomes its fate. An address by Warden Constable Blackwall of Val Cheven to his recruits, 930 Dragon.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
You look out for your people. That's a good thing.
Is it? My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus...
We are better than Corypheus.
Poor Liliana.
I'm listening.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things out.
I was with a hero for Eldon when he defeated the Archdemon. With him by my side, anything was possible. But there is no happily ever after, not when life goes on. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven, should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. That is something at least.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Yes?
I'll leave you to your work.
Anything out here? It's gonna hurt.
My Lord Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
Has Dorian done something wrong?
No, thankfully. It's nothing like that. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas, out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
He's mentioned his family. They don't appear to be on good terms.
Yes. I believe you're correct. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhere private, away from Skyhold, but not in Tevinter. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
What happens if Dorian doesn't agree?
Hopefully that will be the end of it. If not, well, that's why you should be there.
They don't want Dorian to know? That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible? I would speak to the young man myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy.
That did occur to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case, but if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
Your Reverence, I understand that you feel inadequate to the task of bringing Dorian to a secret meeting. Even in the asking, I find it difficult to believe myself. Considering my son has rebuffed all contact, this is the only way. I know him. He would be too proud to come if he knew, even just to talk. That is all we wish to do. The thought of Dorian in the south, placing himself in the paths of such danger, alarms us more than I can express. If this somehow succeeds, we have a family retainer at the Vandrel Hills watching for Dorian's arrival. He will bring the boy to us, somewhere private. If Dorian utterly refuses to go with him, it ends there, and there's nothing we can do. We are at our wits' end. Graciously yours, Magister Hallward of House Pavis. So much. Okay, let's quickly go to Dorian. Oh.
Something you need?
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father. I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices,
nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I? That was unworthy, I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say. If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
Your parents are reaching out to you. Doesn't that mean something?
Only that they're trying to choke me. Don't mind me. Let's see what comes of this.
Okay, we got everything in the building, basically. Let's go out. This is the wrong way. Excuse me, Solus. Wrong door. Okay, where is everybody?
It was a mistake to use Haven as a base of operations. The town was completely indefensible.
I didn't choose Haven. Cassandra and Liliana did.
Accepting a bad choice blindly is hardly a virtue, darling. You left yourself vulnerable to attack. It was a miscalculation, one that I'm sure you won't repeat. But the enemy struck a serious blow against you and the Inquisition. We must recognize that. You must.
So many people are joining this fight. What if I'm only leading them to their deaths?
Death is a part of war, my dear, and a part of life. We cannot escape it. Those who die for the Inquisition give their lives willingly. The alternative is to forfeit all they cherish to these horrors from the sky. Our enemy advances, Inquisitor. We must not sit idly by. Act first and teach them to fear us. You can become the leader the faithful require, but you must do it soon.
Okay.
So, this is Skyhold. Come, let's walk the ramparts. I want to examine our fortifications. We'll be able to see Corypheus coming from miles away.
Corypheus thinks we're beaten. By the time he finds us, we'll be legion.
I know soldiers. I know our soldiers. Corypheus made 100 enemies when he kicked down our door. Let him come. I swear I'll take the twister bastard down, even if I have to die to do it.
I'm grateful for your support.
It's my job, isn't it? Killing Darkspawn. Look, in spite of it all, there is hope. The people flock to your banner. They believe in you. Tell me honestly, are you what they say you are? Andraste's chosen?
There's so little I remember. What if they're right?
Does it even matter? Don't you see what you are to them? Without you, they'd be consumed by despair. We all would. They need you to be Andraste's messenger. It gives them hope. The truth doesn't matter. Listen to me talk. Your time is valuable and I've wasted enough of it.
Fast travel.
Inquisitor, huh? Well, you've got the fortress for it. Speaking of which, when you've got a second, there's something I want to show you.
What did you want me to come see?
Here, come on. I'll show you.
Why am I dressed like this?
You'll see. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Evening. Iron Bull. My merc band just joined up.
Tanner. I'm from Jader. Well, near Jader.
Mira. I was guard captain for Lady Pendel. Signed on after shit blew up at the Conclave. Share a drink? Who's your friend?
This is Grim. He doesn't talk much. So, you ready to kill some demons? Or Venatori, or whatever that Corypheus asshole is?
This isn't just about killing. We're helping the Inquisitor save the world and build the next empire.
Well, long as I get paid, I'm happy. That's why I signed up.
I just couldn't spend my whole life on a farm. Needed to live a little, you know.
What about you, Mira? Why'd you join up? I thought you were serving some noble.
I saw what happened at Haven. The Inquisitor staring down that monster and his archdemon. I don't sing the chant of light as much as I should. But you can't see something like that and not believe.
Well, Grim and I should find our tents. Thanks for the drink. I know every soldier under my command. You don't have that option, but a few faces might help.
I knew some of the soldiers felt like that, but to actually hear it...
It's hard to be just an idea sometimes. That's all you are to most of them. It's why you could stand right in front of them without being recognized. You've got a good army coming along. Remember that, no matter what comes next.
Scout Harding.
Your worship.
Shouldn't you be out there scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So who's Scout Harding, really?
Me? I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor. When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by... that thing out there.
What's been going on?
Seeker Cassandra came through here, looking like a storm cloud. That's just her face, though, isn't it?
Take care.
Herald's Rest. Place for all in service here to rest, recoup, and preserve. The ways the heart remember best, your saving grace, the Herald's Rest. Archery contest, Saturday. All challengers welcome. Sister Liliana to judge, except Varric and Bianca.
Inquisitor.
And you are...
The bartender, Cabin.
Just the bartender?
You were expecting...
Well, welcome to the Inquisition.
Thank you. Welcome to the tavern.
What's the current mood?
Unlikely.
Where did you study? I assume you trained.
Bartending? I'm no alchemist. You mix the bottles that don't taste like nug and you pretend to listen. I suppose I trained at home during feast day family visits. My specialty is ale. Old Antivan recipe. The secret is ale.
You're a bit of a hard ass. Why are you here?
If I could fight, I'd be in a helmet. If I was a mage, I'd throw fire. And probably be dead. But I can't do anything. Just like the hundreds of people who can't do anything. Who make sure the thousands who can do something can do it. Besides, if you know a safer place than your castle, do share.
What's the word out there?
Well, they once wore, now talks, now fashionable hats. Now they've seen something shiny.
As you were.
Inquisitor.
Has come to be alive in the circle of Magi where we will thrive.
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, your worship. You need anything, let me know.
Iron Bull said the chargers were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on how to use them?
I suspect Haven's quiet by now. Might be worth sending the boys back. We could recover some supplies, get an idea about the enemy's strength. We could even pick up any stragglers who haven't found Skyhold yet.
Can we talk about the Bull's chargers?
Best company you'll find from here to the Anderfells. In my time with the Chief, we've gone up against everything from bandits to magic trees. We're expensive, but you'll never doubt we're worth it. Want to know anything in particular?
Do the chargers specialize in anything from a tactical standpoint?
Bull doesn't want us large enough to work as an army. We're better as shock troops, as skirmishers. We've got archers for hitting enemy infantry, Dalish with more archery, and Skinner and her people on the flanks. Rocky handles fortifications and traps, and Stitches keeps us all fighting. They mostly hold back. I'll lead the frontline fighters with Grim, and the Chief goes wherever he can hit something.
Are there rules for how mercenaries operate?
If you don't want some noble to treat you like bandits, yes. There's also a code of conduct most companies hold to. Keeps things civilized on the battlefield. We accept surrenders for ransom from mercenaries, nobles, and soldiers wearing a lord's colors. Our prisoners are treated well, injuries tended. We'd want the same for any of ours who got captured.
You said something about everything from bandits to magic trees. I'll admit to some curiosity.
Right. Sylvans. That's what Dalish called them. Apparently spirits can possess trees, too. Some noble in the Dales, and they really don't like it when you call them Dalish nobles, had a haunted forest. His family had abandoned the land, but he wanted it back. The Chief bought us all axes, and in we went. Between the axes and the torches, the Sylvans weren't too bad. Worst part was the squirrels.
We'll talk later.
I hope I can help somehow. Maybe cleaning?
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way.
Sarah's cabinet of wonder whose it was. Delivered. One cabinet suitable for a lady's curiosities, if resources should be spent on such things. Sir Morris. Below a comment and journal entries by Sarah. Also doodles of Sarah with her tongue out. Eat it, Morbus. Stuff needs a place. Stuff. Banner. Circle. Soft. Lizard. Scratched out. Rough and weird. Holla. Fake. Real ones stink. Cards. Little worlds. Goblet. Fancy cup. Cup. Shit goblet. Bottle. Warden. Strong. Bottle. Tevinter. Piss weak. Stupid sword. There's a small blood stain. Silk. Bolts. Not arrow bolts. Soft. Make something. I think that minstrel Meriden is chatting me up. The song is creepy. Oh. Now gather ye drunkard. Oh, this is a another song.
How's it going?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Sarah not here. Oh, Sarah's over here. I was in the wrong building. That's why.
So, Inquisitor. It's Inquisitor now, right?
Remember that war we talked about stopping? Full of little baddies I can stick with little arrows. That's not a friggin' archdemon, is it? Andraste, what did I step in?
I've apparently been through a lot. But yes, Corypheus was a surprise.
No, a surprise would be, oh, I stepped in dog shite. No one says, oh, a magister god monster, I'm surprised. Impossible things aren't surprises.
I can't help if you don't explain what's wrong exactly.
It's got to be nonsense, doesn't it? We're kind of screwed if it isn't. I mean, that Corypheus thing. A magister, right? Story is, he cracked the Golden City. But that's a hazy dream. If not, Seat of the Maker, real thing. A seat needs a book, so the Maker, real thing. Fairy stories about the start and end of the world, real things. It's too far, innit? I just want to plug the Skyhole rubbish so I can go play.
You joined to help the little people caught up in this. But do you believe or not?
In Andraste? Of course.
But you doubt what you're seeing and hearing.
It can't be true. Even fanatics don't want to be this right. Look, I have arrows. I can make this Corypheus believe in those. Good enough? Please be good enough.
As long as you're reliable when we go magister hunting. Stay for whatever reason you like.
Like don't have nuts to do with it. Not when we're tracking monsters that shouldn't be. What I want is to get everything back to business as usual. A nice simple system with simple problems. Helps me, helps people, helps you. In that order. For now.
You're starting to not sound completely crazy.
I know, scary, innit? So bring 'em on. But first, food. I'm starving.
Well, the tavern's right over there. Sandra is over here.
Have you met this friend of Varric's, Inquisitor?
Not yet, no.
It had better not be who I think it is. I will wring that little bastard's neck.
Why? Who do you think it is?
Someone Varric claimed he could not contact. Someone the Inquisition, indeed all of Thedas, desperately needed. I'll reserve judgment until I know for certain. No need to have that rogue screaming persecution yet again.
Do you have any advice for me?
Treat Dorian with caution. It's possible he could be what he seems. A Tevinter mage wishing to do better than his countrymen. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition appear to have questionable allies.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Skyhold has stolen bricks. Found a brick mark I know from my elder's notes. Fired in High Ever before I was sacked in 480. That was Orlais, but this style isn't, so it was probably looted. There may be others. That time is long past, but the Inquisitors should know where they live. Ganon, Mason. Our cause rights a greater wrong. Crimes of the past will be eclipsed soon enough as this becomes the home of the Inquisition, but send word to High Ever so they can amend their histories. Commander Cullen.
Oh, Bells, it's you. Morris. Sir Morris, I suppose. I am serving as quartermaster for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock, you and yours will be well served.
The previous quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views. Has views. Perfectly legitimate ones if you share them, Inquisitor. I believe it was felt that your quartermaster should be more palatable now that the Inquisition is in Orlais. She continues to serve, just not at the fore.
What makes you ideal for this position? It's an important one.
My family has ties to several freehold militias, as well as cousins acting as officers in Ferelden and Orlais.
And your qualifications?
My family holds treaties with 3 new money Tevinter houses, and a rare Orzuma contract with a Paragon namesake.
And your qualifications?
To be honest, your worship, that was my question. I am the nexus of a dozen threads tied by others, designed to cast the widest and most appealing resource net. But I will rise to the occasion. Skyhold will want for nothing. I swear it.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
Our capacity increases, as do our requests to suppliers. I've had to threaten some contracts. It was exhilarating.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
We have a lot of stuff. We need to find quarries, logging stations, and... Colin, you were out here, weren't you? There you are. Man, this place is big. Oh, there's stairs right over here. Should probably take those.
Thank you.
Move this bush.
Inquisitor? Is there something I can do for you? I should really focus my attention on the injured.
Do we have many injured men?
Fewer by the day. The most grievously injured did not survive the journey to Skyhold. As for the rest, they either heal or... I try to make the passing painless.
I haven't seen you before.
The commander brought me up from the refugee camps. I'd been helping the pilgrims in simple ways. Setting broken bones, simple amputations and such. We need all the help we can get.
You aren't a mage. Shouldn't we let the mage healers deal with this?
Magic can't cure everything, and we shouldn't rely on it. Science, your worship, is the way of the future. Good health isn't magic, it's diet, exercise, and a balance of the humors.
As you were.
Your worship.
Hey, Colin.
Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
We were all shaken by what happened.
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Everyone has so much faith in my leadership. I hope I'm ready.
You won't have to carry the Inquisition alone, although it must feel like it. We needed a leader, and you have proven yourself.
You responded quickly to the attack on Haven. Without that, so many more would have died. I'm grateful for any help you can give.
Thank you, Inquisitor. I will do everything I can to ensure the security of our people. You have my word. Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
Repairs to Skyhold's fortifications are progressing. Our scouts report no immediate threats in the surrounding area. We are fortunate Solus knew of this place.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
This thing is not a stray puppy you can make into a pet. It has no business being here.
Wouldn't you say the same of an apostate?
Inquisitor, I wondered if Cole was perhaps a mage, given his unusual abilities.
He can cause people to forget him, or even fail entirely to notice him. These are not the abilities of a mage. It seems that Cole is a spirit.
It is a demon.
If you prefer, although the truth is somewhat more complex.
Cole warned us about Corypheus at Haven. He saved a lot of lives.
And what will its help cost? How many lives will this demon later claim?
In fact, his nature is not so easily defined.
Speak plainly, Solas. What are we dealing with?
Demons normally enter this world by possessing something. In their true form, they look bizarre, monstrous.
But you claim Cole looks like a young man. Is it possession?
No. He has possessed nothing and no one. And yet he appears human in all respects. Cole is unique, Inquisitor. More than that, he wishes to help. I suggest you allow him to do so.
What do you mean by possession?
Spirits and demons cross over from the Fade by attaching themselves to something in this world. But Cole has willfully manifested in human form without possessing anyone.
The demons who came through the breach, or through the rifts, weren't possessing anything.
These demons were drawn through against their will, driven mad by this world. But Cole predates the breach. From what we can tell, he has lived here for months, perhaps years. He looks like a young man. For all intents and purposes, he is a young man. It is remarkable.
I should hear what Cole has to say for himself. Where is he now?
If none of us remember him, he could be anywhere.
Haven. So many soldiers fought to protect the pilgrims so they could escape. Choking fear. Can't think from the medicine, but the cuts rack me with every heartbeat. Hot, white pain. Everything burns. I can't. I'm going to... I'm dying. I'm... dead.
You're feeling their pain.
It's louder this close, with so many of them.
Would you like to go somewhere more comfortable?
Yes, but here is where I can help. Every breath slower, like lying in a warm bath, sliding away. Smell of my daughter's hair when I kiss her goodnight. Gone. Cracked brown pain, dry, scraping, thirsty. Here.
Thank you.
It's all right. She won't remember me.
You're using your powers as a spirit to help people.
Yes. I used to think I was a ghost. I didn't know. I made mistakes, but I made friends too. Then a Templar proved I wasn't real. I lost my friends. I lost everything. I learned how to be more like what I am. It made me different, but stronger. I can feel more. I can help.
If you're willing, the Inquisition could use your help.
Yes, helping. I help the hurt, the helpless. There's someone. hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Someone make it stop hurting. Make her, please. The healers have done all they can. It will take him hours to die. Every moment will be agony. He wants mercy. Help.
You say he won't die for hours yet, but you can't know that for certain.
His body is failing.
He could recover, or the healers could find another way to help him.
How do you know?
I don't, and neither do you. That's part of life.
Try. I want to stay.
Welcome to the Inquisition. Inquisitor, if you believe that this Cole truly wishes to help the Inquisition and can be trusted to do so safely, I'm willing to give him a chance to prove himself. As Solus insists that he is a spirit made manifest in the form of a young man, not a demon possessing an unwilling victim, I concede that he may not be malicious. Nevertheless, Cole's abilities concern me. I would ask Liliana to have him watched, but most of Skyhold seems unable to see the spirit, or remember him even if informed of his existence. The servants complain of odd occurrences, items mislaid or moved to strange locations, but have thus far been unable to see or remember the person responsible. Such actions appear harmless thus far, but I remain vigilant. Cassandra. Cole appreciates the Inquisition helping those who are hurting and in need. Okay, is there anything else? Blackwall's way out there. I think we've talked to everybody. We just gotta go to the war room and talk with Josephine. So we'll do that, and then I'll end it. Man, we've been going on for a long time, but this is a big place. What's up, Sarah?
Something on?
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Where does this lead?
With allies come enemies. Now we have a place to hold them.
No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, or you've made short work of enemies.
Harder job, the structural fractures throughout. Major blocks shifted. It settled over an age or more, so I had the workers shore it up and call it stable. I don't recommend rebuilding. If we change the weight distribution, it might stress cracks we can't see. I've seen failures like this before, in dams with the pressure of a flood behind them. What caused that in a prison this size, I don't want to know. Structural evaluation for Lord Trevelyan's consideration. Mason Gatsy. Yeesh. This is something. Better not go through that way.
How do you know they won't attack here?
Haven destroyed by Darkest Menace. Dire news from the Frostbacks. The Pilgrim Sanctuary of Haven, home to the new Inquisition, has been destroyed. Information is still vague, but some believe a dragon resembling an archdemon was involved in the attack. Fears of a new Blight are now beginning to surface. As the Chantry continues to flounder, some are concerned that Haven's destruction may predict the Inquisition's imminent collapse. However, there is yet hope, as reports indicate that the Herald of Andraste and Inquisition leadership survived and have found refuge elsewhere. Crier Belenas.
Someone emptied a whole bag of turnips into the fire. Ah, Maker, the smell is everywhere.
Oh, these are my quarters. Whoops. I did not want to go here. Still a nice place, though. Okay, almost done. Don't worry. Go this door, I believe. Here we are.
I've made some inquiries into the Imperial Court. The sooner we deal with the threats to the Empress, the better. The political situation in the Empire is dangerously unstable. It will complicate matters.
Everything in the Empire complicates matters. It's the Orlesian national pastime.
Turn your nose up at the grand game if you like, Commander, but we play for the highest stakes, and to the death.
The Court's disapproval can be as great a threat as the Venatori. We must be vigilant to avert disaster.
Don't worry, Josephine. We'll protect the Empress no matter what.
I pray you're right. If your vision of the future comes to pass, the death of the Empress heralds the destruction of everything. Orlais holds Tevinter at bay. All of Thedas could be lost if the Empire falls to Corypheus. Celine is holding peace talks under the auspices of a grand masquerade. Every power in Orlais will be there. It's the perfect place for an assassin to hide.
Does Celine know about the threats against her? Can we send word?
I've sent messages to the Empress, but it's impossible to know if she's received them. I'll arrange for an invitation at your discretion, Inquisitor.
When Grand Duke Gaspard attacked Empress Celine of Orlais in an attempt to claim the throne, we assumed business across the country would suffer greatly. To counter propaganda suggesting she was overly tolerant of the elves, Celine was drawn to crush an elven uprising in Halam Sharal, and Gaspard's attack there destroyed her forces and cut her off from Val Royeaux. She escaped back to the Orlesian capital, with 100 mad stories explaining how, at which point we started closing down the family shops, expecting Gaspard's army to carve a bloody path through the heartlands and up north towards cities loyal to Celine. Instead, the humans have been downright reasonable. We made a killing on furs and silver in Val Royeaux as Gaspard's hold on southern Orlais cut off incoming trade goods from Ferelden. The nobles in Montfort and Val Chevin also brought up violets as though their touch killed Darkspawn. Apparently, Celine declared that wearing purple flowers was a way for humans to show them their loyalty to her. In Ferelden, half of the cities would be on fire, but in Orlais, the nobles make jokes, and the merchants just keep peddling their wares while Gaspard and Celine's armies clash in the dales. The only people really suffering are the peasants, but then, that's true enough anywhere. Send extra guards on the next shipment, but save Delirium for Ferelden. The family's doing good business here as it is. From a letter from Dernal Herrick, dwarven merchant, to his family in Ostwick.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
We lost far too many good people to that monster.
I'm sure they'll find rest with the Maker. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lord. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters. Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
Perhaps the Maker set these events in motion so long ago, we can no longer see his hand in them.
It would be fitting if that were true. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
It looks strange, but it hasn't done me harm.
If it did come from Corypheus, that's a small mercy. A situation requires your attention, Inquisitor. Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Will anyone even believe me if I claim I didn't kill the Divine?
Perhaps if they learn about your heroics. We should emphasize how you stopped the breach devouring the sky. Even in Jadar, it may win you a few admirers.
What does the nobility gain by saying I murdered Justinia?
A scapegoat to begin with, but I wonder if the Grand Clerics are at work. Those immediately eligible to be divine died at the Conclave. The ones remaining were not as favored. They may look upon you as a rival for influence.
Let's send some ambassadors to convince Jadar I'm not a monster in disguise.
Excellent. I believe there's much to be gained by winning them over. Good day to you.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
You may see the Countess Lutetia in the halls. A lovely woman, but her conversations tend towards the unusual. She's the patron of Orlay's greatest naturalists. The Countess's particular passion is collecting butterflies.
That doesn't sound unusual.
She goes into great detail about preserving them. It seems to involve large amounts of chemicals and pins. What may I do for you?
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
Cole, actually.
Who? Oh, wait, you mean the quiet young man? How strange. I'm sure we must have talked, yet I can't recall what we discussed.
Let's speak later.
Another time.
Nice table. We got a whole bunch of stuff.
Are you all right, Leliana? Are you? I suppose not. Haven was trying.
Skyhold has incredible potential for rune crafting and mastercraft smithing. If only we had a gifted mind to gain full benefit. The War and the Venatori have claimed many experts, but we have located an arcanist with great skill and a reputation for humbling first enchanters in both Andrastian and Imperial circles. 2 assassination attempts and at least 1 explosion have made landholders reluctant to allow her passage through their territory. It will take a significant effort to bring her from Tantervale, but this arcanist will be invaluable to the Inquisition. To our passage, they must know she's there. They will not.
Inquisitor.
The arcanist has been secured, despite great cost and the concern of more than a few traditional-minded mages. She awaits a meeting with the Inquisitor in the Undercroft. Ruffles. First off, you play a mean hand of Wicked Grace. Second, the lead you dug up for me on finding the Bellin Forth guy in Kirkwall is starting to show some promise. I got my editor to look around for me. She's a coterie boss, so people tell her things whether they want to or not. She tracked down the poor sod carrying the manuscripts out of Kirkwall. This is where it gets weird. The courier is a magistrate, Lord Werner Campring. The coterie won't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Maybe you could have a polite word with him for me? A magistrate courier? He has to be involved in something else. Let's find out what.
Let's see what we have.
We've received a message from Orzammar. Knowing all an ancient Darkspawn threatened status, King Balin officially declared his support for the Inquisition. I would advise sending a delegation to Orzammar as soon as possible to cement this alliance.
Let us begin.
A formal document with impeccable filigree. It is time. The Inquisitor commands a small kingdom. It is time to exercise the weight of his influence. There remains uninvolved and uncommitted lords and ladies, bands and arls, where they could not be engaged with plight or passion. They can be compelled through mercenary means, but there must be a display. Make it known that the Inquisition has weight in the boons, and the dispensations of the powerful will be open to you. Thereafter, he need not carry influence. He can simply buy it. The esteemed Ferris the Representative. A grand march. If we are to show weight, show the legion that you command.
Inquisitor.
A whole bunch of stuff. Way up here. Okay, guys, you know what to do. Talk to you all later.
day to you.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye. Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment. Where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging, exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Still more lives in my hands.
You are a beacon of law, Inquisitor, as others retreat from responsibility. But this needn't be bloody. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you. This was a surprise. After you returned from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
You're a chieftain of the Avar. Will your attacks persist?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. He meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
Hey, everyone approves. Somewhat.
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
I remember what would have happened to Thedas if his treachery had succeeded.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
Your magic was theoretically impossible, Alexius. I could use people like you. Your sentence is to serve, under guard, as a researcher on all things magical for the Inquisition.
No execution? Very well.
Okay, well, this would be a good place to stop. We've been going for a very long time. So, we got a new fortress. We got a whole bunch of new side stuff to do. Not to mention going back to the previous areas and completing side quests in there. Oh boy, we got a whole lot. Well, if you liked this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.